almost paid off, and it's almost paid off.
Oh yeah,
that's when it happened.
That's what they.
It's almost paid off. Like I only got like about maybe 3,000 left, if that much.
Wow, that's great.
That's why they trying to get me.
That's what they do. That's exactly what they do.
Put you back in debt. Watch me. That's what they doing.
Good.
Okay, so can I say whatever on here? I can curse. I can say all
whatever you
okay,
want. It's open.
Because I curse.
It's all right. It's perfect. I love cursing personally.
Don't it make you feel better about my cup say bitch on it?
What?
Yes. Make you feel better about life.
Yo, that's hilarious. Oh my goodness.
This was my cup I had from last night in the car. It was nice and cold.
Oh yeah, it was practically frozen.
It got tequila in there. It's not frozen.
You got everything good, Shorty? You ready?
Got mine ready.
How's your Sunday? What you got planned today?
Well, actually, I'm going to get with Darren Fleet, who I tour with. Mm-hmm. We're going to do some promo videos for the tour. And then I'm chilling. I want to chill. Mm-hmm. I want to relax. It's Sunday. Don't you want to relax?
Yes. Sundays are the best days to relax.
Yeah. Or just stress out about Monday coming. That's really what you do. Uh-huh. You spend half the day relaxing / stressed out about Monday. But I work from home, my regular job. So
okay. That's great.
Yes.
I'm jealous.
Love it. Yeah, most people are.
Oh my
They be
goodness.
like, I'm so jealous of how you get to work because I roll over, log in,
goodness,
do my job right from the bed. I don't even have to go outside.
I'm jealous.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could work from home.
Yeah, so it works good for me with my comedy and touring because I just take my laptop with me.
Wow.
My manager knows,
It doesn't even like.
No, even when I do movies and stuff like that, I take my laptop with me and I be in between scenes, like looking at the computer, do something, go back, finish filming, go back again, like.
That's the best. That's the best job.
Best job ever. So I'm like, there's no reason. A lot of people be like, "Oh, you're not serious about your craft if you don't quit your job." They think like that. Like, no,
that's bullshit.
I can't. Yeah, that's bullshit. Like, no. My job works with my stuff. It's not hindering me in any type of way. It's not saying, oh, I can't go out of town this weekend because I got to work. I don't have to worry about that.
Wow.
And my job straight Monday through Friday, no holidays, no weekends.
Wow, that's nice.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful. If you're a person looking for to hire for somebody remotely, hire me.
Okay. Yes, like get that job. I'm trying to tell you, what's so crazy is my job wasn't originally a remote job. And if I still had my old job, I used to work at the American Red Cross for like 15 years. And if that job, no way I would have been able to do that and do comedy because it was just too much. But with this job, like everything happened for a reason. So the same year that I started doing comedy was the same year that I started working at Johns Hopkins.
Oh, wow.
So it was still a Monday through Friday, no weekend job. So I still could do what I wanted to do, but I did have to go in the office. So I'd go in the office, hung over, I'd be tore up sometimes. But I would do the same thing I do at home. I'd be in the office looking at movies on TV. I'd be nodding off, going to sleep, so it was cool. But then when the pandemic happened, we had switched it to where I could work from home. And that worked out so good that my manager was like, oh, you ain't got to go back in the office.
Wow.
And I'm so, like, it's official now because somebody else took over the office. So I'm like, yes, I really ain't got to go back.
That's nice.
So happy.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Like, that is something to be,
real.
I'm happy about that.
That's the best job ever. Before we get too deep into the nitty gritty, how has life been treating you recently?
It's been good. It's been busy. It's been a lot. I just lost my dog. I had him for 14 years, so I had to put him down. He had stage 4 congestive heart failure. I've already wrote a joke about it. And I did it last night in front of the Caucasians. And they enjoyed it. So I say, okay, this joke gonna work. Then it's gonna work. So,
oh my goodness. That's
y'all want to hear the joke?
Yes.
Y'all want to know? This is an exclusive.
Ooh. We got an exclusive.
This is an exclusive. I wrote this joke. So
okay. Basically,
how I say the joke is, I had to put my dog down the other day. it was sad, but it also exposed me as a whore because people was on my post like Murder Inc. Like, oh, I remember Polo. Like, don't tell nobody you know my fucking dog.
Oh my goodness.
Don't tell them, because see, my thing is people will put two and two together. They'll understand. If you know my dog, you probably know my cat.
Oh shit. Oh my goodness. That is hilarious. Oh my goodness. Where did this love for comedy come from?
You know what's so crazy? I've always been a person who make light and make fun of stuff. Like, my friends, when they saw that I started doing comedy, like friends from middle school, elementary school, they was like, yo, you always used to have us cracking up and stuff like that. Like, I'm so glad you're doing this. I can see you doing this. But for me, I never imagined me being confident enough to stand in front of people. You know, like, even with me, my family and stuff, they look at me as shy, but when I would get around my friends, I would act a damn fool, you know? So my friends know that part of me, so they wasn't surprised, but my family was like, what?
Wow.
Quiet little Danielle, you know? No, I'm really not quiet. So, but it was random. I went to an open mic one day, and with Cleon, a comedian, shout out to Cleon.
Shout out.
He had an open mic, and I watched it, and then he usually do like an interactive type of show where he'll bring people up and play a game. And I went on stage and played the game, and I was like comfortable, and it was fun, and I was funny. So I said I might come back and do the open mic. And my sister had looked at me, and she was like, "You funnier than the people. Yeah, you can do it." And I was like, "Okay, bet." And he was like, "Come back next week." And I came back the next week. They enjoyed me, and I never stopped.
Wow.
I've never took a break.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2016.
Wow.
So it's been 8 years.
Well, I'm sorry. I need to do the intro. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the show, the one and only show on the Izzer. As you can tell, I'm with somebody that I'm excited to talk to. Yes. We're with the one and only Woo Woo, the comedian.
Hey.
What type of name is that?
So my last name is Wu Tin. So all my life I've been like some type of Wu name. People call, people like to just, Wu Tin is a fun name to say. People would say Wu Tin. I think in middle school people used to call me Wu Tang. Because of Wu, they like Wu Tang is on the brain, right? And then as I got older, people would just say Wu. So at work, everywhere, like friends is really a name that my friends and people I work with and stuff like that call me, because my last name Wu Tin, so people would say Wu. My niece, when she first started talking, I was so surprised. One of the first things she said, she was like, "I want to stay with Woo Woo." She said, when she said that, it was over. So I kind of, before comedy, I made that my Instagram name, Woo Woo. And so when I first went on stage, they'd be like, "Well, what you want to be called?" And I'm just like, Woo Woo, That
makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So it's stuck.
That's good. Okay, let's take it back to 2016. What was happening around your life in that time?
So much. I tell people all the time, I went through a complete transition of life. Like, I worked at the Red Cross for 15 years. I left that job in December of 2015. 2016 is when I started there. I was in a relationship that was not good. I left him. So I had just moved into like my own place without him, by myself. I was working that job, and it wasn't until like May of that year that I started doing comedy. So it was like I just did so many different things with life. I felt like I got to the point with life where I wanted to live instead of survive. I think I was molded, and I think my generation of parents, like my mom and them, my mother always just told me like, work and pay your bills, and that's life. Like, no, it's more than life than just that.
Teaching you to survive.
Yeah, she taught me how to, and I thank God for that, because I look at some of the younger generation and I'm like, they're lost. They're not gonna know what to do.
They're fucked.
Like this. So I thank God that I do have that foundation of no matter what, I'm gonna be able to take care of myself.
I understand.
But at the same time, I felt like I never was enjoying life. Like it was always just work, pay bill, you know, do what you have to do, this, that, you know. So when I found comedy, it just gave me a whole new outlook on life. And I feel like it changed me for the better, because I will say I was also a person that if things got too hard, I would quit. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Damn.
Like, seriously, I would tap out.
How severe was that tap out mentality?
It was real bad. I was a tap. I'm telling you, I would tap out every time. Like, when things got too hard for me, I would get overwhelmed. And once I got overwhelmed, I'm tapping out. You know, the only thing I wouldn't tap out of is like a job, because I need my coins. I gotta take care of myself. You know, I'm about my money.
Well, that's a vast perspective. And you saying and now you basically saying you're a total opposite from
that now. Like now, I'm a push through. You gotta think about it. Anything in entertainment is not always uphill. You know, it's a lot of work you gotta put in for free. It's a lot of sacrificing. It's a lot you gotta put into it to get, you know, very small reward at the end of the day. Yeah. And I got to the point where it was worth it. Like, you know, and like I said, when I say tap out, it could be the smallest things. Like I could have plans to go out and it start raining and I'll be like, not going, you know. But if I have a show, girl, you better put on your rain boots and go do this show, you know. So it's stuff like that where I've pushed myself out of my comfort zone, because I like to be in my comfort zone type.
So, your first comedian show. To walk me through that dynamic.
It was scary as hell. I was so scared. I remember it so well because it was actually around my sister's birthday and my birthday. So I'm a Taurus. Her birthday May 1st, my birthday May 9th. And it was in between that time. So when I first went was on her birthday, May the 1st. And that was the day that I decided that I wanted to do the open mic. Okay. And then the following weekend, I did the open mic. And then Cleon actually invited me back to come do a Mother's Day show. And the Mother's Day show was the 7th, which was right before my birthday. So I count that day as my comedy debut.
That's nice. And I'm pretty sure by then you've almost done hundreds of shows since then.
Oh yeah, so many.
I would kind of wonder, for young comedians watching this, what's kind of that from your first show to your last show that you had last night? What is something that you learned in between that space of time?
So much. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't know anything about comedy when I started. Wow. It was a random thing. It was never anything that I was already pursuing. Like, oh, I'm going to do comedy. I never thought about it before. So I had none of the fundamentals of being a comedian.
Stage presence.
I knew nothing about stage presence, you know, catering to your audience, not cursing so much. When I first did comedy, I was like, motherfucker, bitch, it's cringy to watch, because I have the video of when I first, you know, did comedy, and it's cringy to watch. I was like, girl, if you don't stop all that damn cursing. Like now, even though people thought it was funny, but you know, that's here, that's home, that's Baltimore. You know, it hit different depending on where you at, and you learn that over time. Like, you have to spread your wings to where as though it's going to fit all audiences. So I do all types of shows over my time of comedy. I've been looking at your tour schedules. I do all types of shows, all types of places. I done did swingers events. I done did a repast.
What?
I done did a wedding reception.
What the hell?
And these people I ain't know. The repast and the wedding, I ain't know them people.
Oh my goodness.
I just did it, you know. So I've done so many different things, but it's like, I think once I jumped into it, it was one of those things that I didn't previously have a passion for, so I wasn't studying up on it. But once I jumped into it, the passion grew, me wanting to know, me taking criticism, me asking people things, you know, me expanding myself. And I always wanted to do different type of shows, different type of rooms, different type of places, because I want to be household name. I want everybody to know. So it's like
I think
I
everybody
have to
should
spread
know.
it. Yeah,
I think everybody should know.
Yeah.
The first video I saw, I was instantly immersed. Like, I need to know everything about this
yes,
person.
I appreciate that. And that's how it is. Like, I love also, as being a female comedian, I love being in a space where both men and women enjoy me. I never want to, even though I might talk about my experience of being a big girl, I talk about experiences being a woman in general, because I don't never want to leave nobody out, when I tell my jokes. And I feel like my jokes, my set, everything, it leaves no one out. So I'll have times where a wife and a husband is there, and the husband enjoyed me just as much as the wife did, and I love that. I'm like, I want everybody to feel me.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Tell me about, I know when you start in comedy, it's a lot of stuff that you have to, like, especially as far as storytelling, like the sacrifices, stuff that you might feel too sensitive. Talk about what was some of the hardest obstacles you had to jump over type thing.
Oh, so that was definitely difficult, because I am a very, like, personal, I don't like put my business in the streets, and that was something I learned over time. Like, and somebody actually said that to me, a comedian said that to me. They were like, you were funny, but I didn't learn anything about you. They told me that, and that stuck with me, because I was like, I will tell jokes that are general jokes, but it's not personal to me. I want to bring people into my world, because that's the thing. Even though I say you have to be flexible depending on your audience, I still don't change myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring you to my world, but I'm gonna bring you to my world in a way that you can understand.
I get
so that was something I had to get over. So once she said that, I was like, damn, she right. Like, I don't talk too much about personal stuff. So now the jokes that I do personal jokes. I say I dated a homeless guy before.
What the hell? Because
he had a car. Hold up now. It's easy to get homeless fish. He had a car, okay? I didn't know.
Okay.
But he was homeless. He was. That man, all his shit was in the car. I was like, whoa. I didn't know if I was like, all this shit is in the car.
How long was you with him before you figured out?
We dated for a little bit. Oh, no. So I found out pretty soon, but this was back in the day. I thought this shit was cute. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yes, I know where my man at. My house. Can't leave. He ain't got the key. It was one of them situations. But I talk about my mistakes, things I go through. Earlier this year, I had a hysterectomy. Do you know how old I am?
No.
Maybe that's part of the problem. I'm 42.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a little older, but I had a hysterectomy earlier this year, which I'm not upset about at all. It was something that was needed medically.
Did it hurt or something? Like, I'm not too sure what that is.
It hurt somewhat, the healing process, but it wasn't as long as it used to be back in the day. Okay. Now they do stuff so differently. Like it was half people, half robots working on me.
What?
Yeah, they had a robot. And they were so pumped about it. I was like, that robot fucked me up. I'm gonna fuck y'all up. Johns Hopkins
robot in the.
Yes, yeah. It was a robot. They was like, we gonna have the robot on you. I was like, that robot, my coochie better still be good when y'all done. And that's the main, and I said that under the drugs. I was like, make sure my coochie's still good. And if y'all want to take some of this fat out this stomach and put it in my ass, do that too while y'all in there. Come on now.
Oh my goodness.
Program the computer to do that shit. But yeah. So I talk about all that stuff on stage now, where I feel like in the past I would have never exposed those things, but I talk about everything that's true to me, and you'd be so surprised how many people, can just relate. They're like, oh, I relate to that, So
I hear a lot of times when people say, like, being open and being transparent, I feel a lot of times I hear about the weight lifted off their shoulders after they tell that story.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? How has being a comedian and just starting being open and like you said, you don't put your business in the streets. That's polar opposite from being a comedian. How has that benefited or like took away from your mental health, Like you said, you was a whole different person.
Yeah, I was a whole different person. I would say it benefit me in a way, like I said, because I get stuff out. I, talk about my feelings. I get stuff out. I I've never been a person who's stressed about stuff, but I would be a little worrywart sometimes. But now I don't even stress about stuff no more. Like, I know life be life and stuff will happen. And like now I have a whole different mentality about when life be life, because I be like, oh, that's a good joke. I told you, I just put my dog down literally the same day I put him down, I wrote that joke. I was like, oh, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Life be life, and I'm sad, I'm crying, but I'm like writing a joke about my dog. Like, you know, so.
Yeah, them dog relationships be something else. I grew up with my dog. And
he been in my life for so long and through so many niggas. It's like, no, let me stop.
Okay, let's step away from comedy a little bit. I mean, it sounds like comedy has sucked up a lot of your time today. Let's try to subtract the comedy from you. Let's try to think on you as a person. What do you like to do on your spare time?
Chill, watch TV. Like, no, I like to chill. I am a person who, I am so comfortable with my own space or whatever, which I feel can be a gift and a curse. So back to the question you asked previously about how comedy was, you know, how it helps. But I feel like also you give so much of yourself. I'm an empath. So I give so much of myself and my energy to people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a person, I hug people. I take on people's problems, energy. So... And I have family and friends that rely on me a lot to, you know, tell me their problems and what's going on. So I need breaks. I need breaks from people, human beings. Like, sometimes I don't even want to talk, you know?
I can understand
so that's where when it's just me and I'm chilling, like, that's my favorite thing. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I smoke a little weed. I like to smoke weed in the house because I'm dumb as shit when I'm high. So if I smoke or something like that, I like to be in the house by myself. I ain't gotta talk to nobody. I can watch TV, laugh, trip. I be having a good time with me.
Wow. I feel like that's where I feel like me personally, that's where I'm trying to get my life to end up. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm in the process of getting my own space, my own environment to decompress like that.
Yeah, you need to decompress, and that's why I just need my space to decompress or whatever for a minute. And I try to tell, because I know that I'm busy a lot more because of comedy, so it does take away from time, you know, with my family, you know, my friends, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
I've been looking at your tour. Like, do you teleport?
No, it's a lot. It's a lot, and traveling is a lot in itself.
Financially,
you know? Yes, exactly. Financially, physically, walking around that goddamn airport, all that stuff. It's a lot, and so I need, whenever I can have those moments of just me, I need those moments or whatever. That's why, even down to dating, I date somebody who don't live in Baltimore.
Wow.
He lives in North Carolina.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah, cause imagine me come, I don't feel like your shit today. And he might already feel neglected because I'm doing so much. So now I don't have that burden on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I ain't got to worry about you. I can call you real quick. All right, I'm gonna talk to you later. I'm chilling today. I'm not, and I can have my moment. So that's what I like to do when I'm not. But outside of that, I'm really I'm a family person. Like, I'm there for my family. My mother she was just in the hospital for a week. I was there every day, every night.
Is she good now?
She's good now. She home. She okay. Great. But I was there with her every day, every night. You know, my sister, my niece, my nephew. You know, my brother. Like, I'm there for my family whenever they need me, and they know that. But I feel like it's probably been hard for them too, because they're used to me being that person. They're used to, I can call Danielle. She's going to be there. She's going to be there. But it's like, woo on the road. Okay, you call Danielle, but woo on the road, you know. And if I'm not on the road, sometimes I just want to chill. But I'll spread myself thin sometimes. I will, because I'll still try to be like, okay, well, I ain't got no shows this weekend. Let me go see my father. Let me go see my mother. Let me go, let me go spend time with my niece and my nephew, because I know they miss me, you know. My little nephew, he 3 years old. I'm his favorite person. I gotta be around for my baby.
Yes, you know, you gotta be there.
He called me. My sister called me on FaceTime. And he'd be like, I want to talk to Woo Woo. So I got to talk to him. Wow. So that's what I try to do. Like, I really am I'm a family person. I'm a loyal person. And I'm really like, just like a friend's friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I do have a community because I can rely on them to help me. You know, even before I lost my puppy, they would watch him, feed him. You know, my best friend would look out for me. I actually live with my best friend. So we got like a duplex type of house. So I got my own space downstairs. What? She got her own space upstairs, and we just share the kitchen. Wow. And I got my own bathroom, all that stuff. So
you got your situation. You got the perfect job, perfect house.
I do. Like, everything, God, all in God's plan. God's plan.
I want to go back and talk about when you said building your own space, having your own space. Me inspiring, because this show is young people probably my age, like, and I like them to leave with something.
Yes, absolutely.
So for that being said, building your own space, like me saying, like how would you do that? What is that process like? Building your own space.
Building your own space, and you know. The thing about it is, like, even I say now, and y'all see me, I'm all the way grown, but I don't have any children, you know what I'm saying? And not single, but I don't have a man here. Mm-hmm. So my situation works for me because the cost of living is crazy. It's crazy. So it's hard to step out there. So if you have somebody like me, I got a best friend, like, I feel like out of everybody in my life, she the one person I can 100% be myself around, and she understands me. Like, if I come in and I just stay downstairs and I don't say nothing to her all day, she not gonna be like, oh, what's wrong with her? Why is she not talking to me? She ain't gonna feel a way about it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna care. She minding her business or whatever.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying? So, if you in a situation like that where you can roommate with a friend or something like that, now sometimes it can end a friendship. You got to be careful who you move in with, who you live with and stuff like that. Because I know it's hard out here. It's hard, but just try to find a way to just have your moment and have your own space and let the people in your life understand that it's needed. I think now we are way more aware of mental health more than we were in the past, and that's what I celebrate with the younger generation, because they recognize their feelings, understand their feelings, and can express their feelings. But sometimes y'all can be some punk bitches. I'm just saying. I be like, what? I did way. Calm down. You mad because your mother ain't buy you a PlayStation. Meanwhile, I was paying my mother rent.
Oh my goodness.
Get your ass out of here.
Did you hear about that story? Did you hear about the story about a couple of weeks ago where a mother got arrested for letting their child walk to school? And it was like a block away.
No, that's right. And I be thinking my sister being a punk bitch by taking my niece to school and she lived 2 blocks away. I be like, girl, make that girl walk. Oh, okay, so you can go to jail for that?
Yeah, they went to jail.
That's crazy.
She got the charge. She had to bail herself out.
Wow.
And it was like a block away. It wasn't even like in a city. Like the population of the whole city is like 300 people.
Who's told? That's because I would want to beat up the person who's
nobody didn't tell. The child was walking to the school and like the police like pulled the child over and like
it was like, why are you walking by yourself? I didn't even know that was a thing.
The next day they had
that can't be a thing in Maryland, is it?
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
It may be. I don't know. Because I definitely be telling my sister, like, that girl 13, let her ass walk. Like, I remember being 10, you know what I'm saying? Like, walking to school. I would catch 2-3 buses.
I remember that too. I think I was the last generation that did that.
Yeah. Because I was a person who, I lived over west and went to school over east.
Oh, wow.
So I lived over west and went to Mervo.
Oh, wow.
So I had to catch like 2 buses.
Damn near.
Yeah, like, what? These kids, that's why they don't want to get their license and shit, because they got chauffeurs. I couldn't wait to get my license.
Me too.
I was like, I need a car. I'm tired of this bus shit. Like, I got to get a license. I got to figure, I had to get my own car. I got my license, but my homegirl daughter got a car. don't want to go get a license. No license. And
What?
And then my homegirl still got the audacity to be driving this girl around. And she 19. She ain't no baby.
That's a grown ass man.
That's a grown ass person. What do you mean? Like, it'd be baffling me sometimes.
Wow.
But I'd be like, you know what?
Take me back to that
Mind
time
your
in your
business.
life. Take me back to that time in your life when you did get your first car. I know a lot of times for just adults, people, we tend. It's always some dumb shit we do when we get our first car. Like, walk me through that time in your life.
Let me tell you, when I got my first car, first of all, because it is a lemon, it was a lemon. That shit like right. You hear me?
No,
I'm trying to tell. And I let that man convince me. I remember I went to, it was called Pimlico Motors on Park Heights.
Oh, I know exactly
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Park Heights and Rogers.
Wow.
That's
still
where I
there.
got my first car. It was a Nissan Altima. You couldn't tell me shit. But that thing started tearing apart probably the moment I pulled it off the damn, whatchamacallit. And then I didn't have no insurance. Like, I was so green. I ain't know nothing. He was like, oh yeah, get the MAFE insurance. Oh, hi, dumbass insurance. Got the MAFE insurance just so I could get the car and get it off the lot.
Wow.
And then I kept having problems. I remember one time, I distinctly remember my brakes went out. And it was like when it was snowing.
Oh,
and I used to
no.
live in these townhouses off of Forest Park. And I had to drive straight into a snowbank. Like, in order to
stop your car?
To stop my car.
Oh my goodness.
It was crazy. I was like, oh.
How long was you doing that?
That was just crazy.
How long would you stop in your car by snow?
That was one time, but that car, I think after that, I got it fixed. I had to keep getting shit fixed. Like, I got it fixed, and then I was just like, I can't do this no more. And I traded it in, and I got a newer Nissan Altima, because I like the Nissan Altimas. I did. I got a newer one. No, I didn't get it. What I had after that? Oh, I had a Ford Taurus. Mm-hmm. That was just as bad. I don't know. Yeah, I just needed a car. Yeah, I just needed a car to get me from A to B, because I couldn't rely on nobody for no rides and shit like that.
What were you doing the money to pay for that?
I worked at the Red Cross. You see, I said I worked there for 15 years. Mm-hmm. So when I turned... I started working there when I turned 18, and I was my first year of college or whatever. So I went to Coppin at first, and then I went to BCCC.
Did you finish college?
No, I did not.
Tell me about that whole experience.
Because work became more important. Because I moved out, wanted to be fucking grown so bad. Wanted to be grown so bad. So I had my own car. I moved out, and I had bills. Then when I started, Red Cross was actually like a good job for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
You got insurance. Yeah. I was making a couple of little dollars for back then.
That's good.
So I was doing pretty good, but they would always offer overtime and stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah, let me get this overtime. So I would stay and do overtime instead of taking my ass to school.
That's crazy.
Because I worked evening shift. I worked 4 to 12, but I would stay overnight and work, and then be like, shit, I ain't going to school. I'm tired. I don't feel
overnight,
like it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
worked overnight for years. Wow. I loved overnight though.
Why do you love overnight?
Because ain't nobody there watching you and shit.
See, I like it too. I liked it for that reason too, but I fell asleep. I got caught up. I fell asleep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
See, we used to watch each other back. I can't put our secrets out there. Some of my friends still work there. But I made some of the best relationships. I will say, at that job, I stayed that long because of the people, not because of the job. I made some of my best friendship and relationships at that job. But we used to watch each other back. So we would do stuff like, all right, let's hurry up. When we came in, get all of this shit done. Hurry up, get this work done. Then we each can take a 2-hour lunch break.
Dang.
So you get an hour to eat and an hour to sleep. Or however you work it out. I would bring my food so I can get me eat real quick, sleep for an hour and a half,
Wow.
So we used to...
Yeah, that was a good job. 2-hour break.
Yes. We used to get It started getting... They started putting cameras up and shit like that after a while. That's when I knew it was time for me to go. I can't steal time no more. I gotta go. It's like, no.
That is hilarious.
Once I can't steal time no more, it's time for me to leave.
Okay, let's hit the brakes on this conversation. We're gonna get back into we're gonna get back into comedy, but I'm just so astonished by you and just your life.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to ask you, what was probably the hardest time in your life, if you had to break it down?
Right before I started doing comedy, that relationship that I was in, I was very depressed. He was physically and verbally abusive.
What?
Yeah, we lived together.
Was he light skinned?
No, he wasn't. But he was what do you call them when they be in jail a lot? Institutionalized. That's the word. He was institutionalized. He was. I think that was part of the problem. But yeah, that time frame being in that, and I was hiding it from my family and my friends because I knew that I wasn't ready to leave yet, and I was protecting him, and I didn't want him to look bad to them, so I was hiding it. But yeah, I was in my worst place, my worst shape, everything, and once I got out of that relationship, like that's what I say, everything happened in God's timing.
Yes, it does.
It was like once I got out of that relationship and shoot,
you started blossoming.
I started blossoming. Like I don't think I would be doing comedy if I was still in that space. I know I wouldn't. It ain't even a thought.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that was the darkest time, and that was about. It wasn't the entire time. It was probably like the last year or so of the relationship. Then his brother wound up getting killed. So that put me in a space to stay longer than what I wanted to be there for him and his family because it mattered to me too.
Understand.
You know.
Like you said, you take in people's problems.
Yeah, I take it in. So I had to be there for him. And then it was so crazy. It was like all of the stuff he had already done didn't bother me, but he cheated on me, and honestly, I was so happy. It was like I don't know. I was like, yes, nigga. I found out on Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving?
On Thanksgiving Day.
What do you do on Thanksgiving?
I worked overnight. He worked overnight too. That's the crazy thing. We both worked overnight, but I had to go into work Thanksgiving night. He didn't. And I had cooked for us the day before. Because, bitch, if I known you was cheating.
You cooked for him?
I wouldn't even have known.
Oh, hell no.
I wouldn't even have cooked. You hear me? If I would have known that shit. And, like, he tried to play with me. He tried to lie. Like, him and the girl was full-fledged, like, go together, though. But I will say, way before that, the relationship really was over. We was just floating by. We were just in that house together.
Now, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Now, it is some white people watching this, and you know, white people, everybody they be with probably graduated from college, so they probably don't understand what it's like to be with somebody that's institutionalized. Could you kind of explain that?
Oh, okay. Let me explain. Institutionalized is just somebody who has been in jail a lot, and they still have that mentality of jail, like. They have trust issues. They don't really like going out and stuff like that. It was hard for me to, you know, when I want to go out and do something fun, it was like, no, he wanted to stay in the house and just not be around people. Wow. Certain things trigger them. It's crazy. But yeah, he was definitely that. So I finally got away from when I found out he cheated. I was like, yes. Take him,
God did that too.
Yeah, And it's so crazy because my loyalty is so hard and me so stuck in my comfort zone. With me, it gotta be a dramatic push. It gotta be a dramatic push for me to do stuff sometimes. Like, it's like, bitch, you ain't got no choice.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Like, even when I left Red Cross, it was like, it been was things that went on over the years that I didn't agree with, but something they did pissed me off so bad. I started applying for jobs. I was like,
it just so happened one of them got.
My sister worked at Johns Hopkins. Wow. The lady she was working with was retiring. She was like, oh, you might can get that job. Best thing ever happened to me in life. I applied for it. What I was waiting for was if they was going to offer me more money, because I was like, I can't do less. I'm already paycheck to paycheck with this one, so I can't do less. And sure enough, I promise, I was at work, and then they was about to make me work New Year's too. I was pissed. I didn't want to work New Year's. I was at work, and I got that letter, the offer letter, and how much they was going to pay. Oh, immediately start typing up my resignation letter and printed it out. Wow. And was like, plot twist, bitch, I ain't working on New Year's.
Wow, that's
because it was 2 weeks ahead of time. I was
wonder,
just.
hilarious.
I was
That's
so
perfect.
happy.
God works.
God work like everything. That's why I never get upset about opportunities that I feel like, oh, because I know for a fact, I know that God always put me where I need to be, when I need to be there. And he gonna make a way for me. I know this for a fact because he's done it so many times. Like, he's forced me into situations. So I know that whatever is meant for me is going to come when it's supposed to come, when I'm ready, when I'm prepared, where I'm not going, that's why I say always be ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Exactly. That's what I want to talk about, because, just me personally, I look at my generation, I look around, I look at the generations coming up. They too busy idolizing Drake and Beyonce.
They looking at the wrong shit.
Tell them how important God has been to you.
God has been so important to me. Like I said, God has pushed me out of my comfort zone. He has forced me to see stuff for what it is. He has forced me to step up when I need to step up, be there when I need to be there for people. So I just know that relationship is way more important than anything else, than idolizing anybody. And you got to think about, all these people are human beings, and this is the year that is being exposed. It's being exposed to show you these people ain't perfect. Never. And I don't know, my mother taught me that as well, because you know how when you be younger and you might have a friend that's like spoiled and get whatever they want, and you be like, oh, I wish. My mother always used to tell me, she was like, don't idolize nobody else's life. Don't look at nobody else's life and say you wish it, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Nowadays I feel like the younger girls, I'm talking to y'all will look at these girls online, with the BBLs, and they getting money and they looking good, and they getting their ass beat.
Pretty much, yeah.
They getting their ass beat. Somebody is controlling them and controlling their every move. They're not healthy. Their mental health is fucked up. Like, don't idolize nobody. And I've never been that person. I've never been jealous of somebody or looking at somebody else's life and being like, oh, I wish that was me. No. What's meant for me is meant for me. You know what I'm saying? And I know what I got to do for myself. Like, I know I'm a big girl. I know I need to be healthier. I know I need to do stuff like that. I know, but I'm not looking at nobody else and be like, oh, I wish I was like them.
I was watching this one video that came out recently. It was basically a random female, and like she was like she wanted to be a content creator, and for her to go viral, she made it a thing that she was going to try to have sex with 100 guys in one day.
Oh, that girl, she was crying.
Yeah.
That fucked her up mentally.
Yeah.
You that desperate. I swear, just me and, shout out to my work husband, Darren Fleet or whatever. A lot of people know him. He's very big on social media, and that's why I'm in the position I'm in today with touring. So y'all make sure y'all check out our tour dates as well.
Check them out.
Yes, but we just was having that conversation. We were talking about like TikTok, and we was like, I'm not about to do no dumb shit just to be viral. I'm not about to sit up here and set my mother couch on fire, because I want to go viral. Like, I'm not about to do no dumb ass shit. And that's what they like. That's what they idolize. That's what they like that. They like that. Them kids, I'm like, I ain't doing all that dumb shit. I'm not.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't have it in me to be goofy. I'm funny, but I ain't goofy.
Yeah, that's straight up stupid.
Yeah, it is.
That's straight up stupid.
It is, and it makes no sense. And I'd be like, no, I'm not about to do all that. But it is that is not the way. Honestly, like what I be saying, like sometimes with these kids, they idolize the rapper. No, idolize the engineer.
Exactly.
That's who making the fucking
idolize
money.
The label that's signing
exactly.
the check.
The label.
Exactly.
Yes, because that's who's making the real money. These artists is out here. That's what another conversation we just having. They out here. You gotta think about it. When they get this money from the labels, half of that money they have to give back. That's why you see so many artists having to go through bankruptcy and stuff like that or whatever, because that shit costs. And that's why I say people will look at me and be like, oh, whoa, you on tour, you getting money. Do you know how much outside fucking costs? So look at all this outside.
Oh my goodness.
Okay? So subtract that from what you think going on.
Exactly.
And know that I'm just breaking even.
Oh,
okay? Please believe.
Your outside is totally different from my outside. Because I just go to Towson or something. You're going to Tennessee.
Right.
Like, I want to talk about that. Talk about that whole touring dynamic. So we're getting back into comedy now, guys.
Back into comedy.
Shorty gave me the signal to wrap it up, but she
okay.
She gonna no, we're not. We're gonna disregard her message.
Oh!
Don't worry about it. She be out. She ain't got nothing to do today. Nothing. She good. Raven's already playing. Bets are. But talk about that whole touring comedy dynamic. Like how was touring for you?
It's fun, but it's tiring. It's exhausting. It is. I will say that, because you gotta imagine. Like just recently, I was just talking about that. Flew into Atlanta. First of all, I didn't go to the night before. I had something to do before I left. Didn't go to sleep till 2:00 in the morning. Had to get up at 4 in the morning to go to the airport. Flew into Atlanta. Took a little nap. Did my show. Went out after the show.
Oh, for 2 hours of sleep?
Yes, went to sleep again at 2. Got back up at 4 and got on a flight to come back home.
Wow.
So imagine doing that over and over and over.
Wow,
again.
that's crazy.
It's a lot. And then, like I said, I still work. So even sometimes if I might be in a city for multiple days, if it's during the week at all, I'm still getting up at 6:00 in the morning to work.
No matter what.
There's been times that I've done shows in California. Like one time I took a night flight to California to do a show, and by the time we got to the hotel, it was 3:00 in the morning their time, but 6:00 in the morning this time,
so
and I had to log in and work.
Wow.
Yep. So
as long as, but all that matters is no matter what your day-to-day process is, no matter what your journey is, as long as it's to your liking, as long as
it is,
yeah, you having your way.
I'm having my way, and it's fun, and it is fun. It's definitely fun going to different cities, like places I always wanted to go, and I would have never thought of going. I even been to Jamaica. I had an all expense paid for trip from doing a comedy competition to Jamaica, and I did comedy in Jamaica. So I'm international.
We're gonna have to bring you back on the show. Hopefully you can come back.
Absolutely.
I think we got a lot to talk about.
We do.
I got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And they got a lot to learn.
Yes, for sure.
I hope you come back.
I will. I absolutely will come back. Well, y'all just make sure y'all follow me. Woo 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 _ the comedian. Check out my movies. I got a couple of little, films under my belt. Danielle Woo Wooten, just look it up. What is it? IBDM? What did you call it?
Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah, be popping. My IBDM is popping, and yes, currently on tour. So next week I got Charlotte coming up next.
Charlotte? Oh, you gonna be in North Carolina? You get to see your man.
Yes. Well, he in Raleigh. I might see him. I might not. I don't know. He got a family thing or whatever, but.
Well, that's great. I'm excited. Cool. I'm excited for everything that you have going on.
Yeah,
and I'm genuinely a fan of it.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed myself.
Thank you for being here.
All right.
On that note, we are going to close out. Thank you for tuning in to the #1 show on the Earth. I hope you enjoyed this content as much as we did. Tune in next week for another banger like this, and goodbye.